Get ready for a wild ride as we showcase thieves who discovered the hard way that messing with the wrong store clerk can lead to instant regret. Sledgehammer fiasco. A group of not-so-bright thieves decided to rob a jewelry store in Santa Monica. One guy, feeling extra bold, storms in with a sledgehammer and starts smashing a display case. But the owner wasn't having it and literally shoved the guy out the door. Then, another thief pops up and smacks the owner with the same sledgehammer. Laptops? Not today. This guy thought he'd make off with some laptops, but the store clerk wasn't having it. She tackled him like she's been binge-watching wrestling. Then, another clerk comes sliding in, almost wiping out while juggling her phone, trying to call the cops. Meanwhile, they've pinned the thief down like a couple of pros, refusing to let him go. Bad hair, worse decisions. So, this lady with a fresh man cut struts into the store, casually filling her bag like she's shopping for free. She probably thought she'd be enjoying her 5-finger discount later. But surprise, surprise! Instead of a shopping spree, she's getting a new accessory: handcuffs. The worker saw her every move and decided to call the cops. Like and subscribe right now and you'll have amazing luck for the rest of the week. Hammer time. A robber runs into the store, swinging a hammer, ready to break some glass. But the owner isn't caught off guard. He points a gun at the robber's neck, and the robber bolts out the door in a hurry. Guess he didn't expect to run into such tough competition. Epic clapback. This wannabe robber thought a knife would scare the store clerk, but he seriously misjudged his target. She grabs his wrist, twists it like she's opening a jar, and makes him drop the knife. Then she picks it up and chases him out. Bet he didn't see that coming. Innocent bystander. This lady tried to nail the innocent shopper role during a store robbery. She ran out of the store and didn't call the police, but still had the nerve to act like a bystander. Maybe stick to holiday shopping instead of heist auditions because the police weren't buying her performance. And now she's getting a one-way ticket to the big house. Chair showdown. A thief bursts into a shop with a knife, thinking he's got the upper hand. But instead of panicking, the shopkeeper calmly steps out and grabs the nearest weapon, a chair. In a bizarre turn of events, he charges the thief like he's about to start a new sport: extreme furniture defense. Completely caught off guard, the thief realizes he's not equipped for a battle against a chair-wielding shopkeeper and bolts out the door. It's not every day you see a heist thwarted by a piece of furniture. The breakfast fight. Nothing like a rock to the drive-through window to kickstart your morning, right? So, at 4:30 a.m., this guy decides he needs more than just a chicken biscuit. He smashes in, follows an employee to the back, and demands the safe be opened. But surprise, the employee can't open it and ends up wrestling with the dude instead. During their scuffle, the employee rips off the robber's mask like it's an episode of Scooby-Doo. Our guy panics and runs off. Pickle power punch. 3 robbers thought they had hit the jackpot while ransacking a jewelry store, not realizing the owner was on his way back. When he bursts in, they panic, trying to make a hasty exit. But instead of a weapon he's armed with, wait for it, a bag of pickle jars. He smacks one robber in the face, and chaos ensues. The big guy doesn't stop there. He takes down all 3 with his pickle-packed punches. Quick draw. These robbers thought they could get away with an easy heist. They rush to the counter, but the owner is already holding a firearm, looking calm and collected. The robbers panicked and fled just as quickly as they arrived. Shoplifting, gone, crying. This guy thought he'd swipe a bag, but things got weird when the clerk calmly snatched it back. Instead of running, the dude just lay on the floor and bawled like a toddler who dropped his ice cream. Guess his big heist plan didn't include a meltdown. Who knew shoplifting came with a side of tantrums? Gold digger drama. A guy walks into a jewelry store pretending to shop for gold. Out of nowhere, he pulls out pepper spray and aims it at a young boy and the store owner. Big mistake. The owner stands his ground, dodging the spray while grappling with the robber. He holds on until nearby shoppers rush in to help. Turns out, acting tough doesn't always work out. Pole outsmarts thief. This wannabe thief thought he'd smash his car into the shop and grab some loot. The security system had other plans. Sword meets machete. Two geniuses storm in, waving a machete, thinking they've got the upper hand. But the clerk, clearly living his best Game of Thrones life, casually whips out a sword. Yep, a sword. The thieves do a complete 180, probably rethinking every decision that led them to this point. Who knew you'd need night training for a robbery? Bronx beatdown. A wannabe thief thought he'd score easy cash by robbing a smoke shop in the Bronx, but ended up with a free beatdown instead. The surveillance footage shows him, all tough in his grey hoodie, getting absolutely wrecked by two employees who clearly weren't in the mood for his nonsense. Spray and run. In this wild video, a wannabe fashionista decides to shop for $3,000 worth of designer goodies at TJ Maxx. No wallet required. An employee tries to stop her grand exit, but instead of a polite no, the thief responds with pepper spray, because why not? The poor employee ends up with swollen eyes, and the thief waltzes out like she's just bagged a bargain. If you recognize this fashion bandit in her stylish Gap shirt, let the police know. Marine snack. Thinking of robbing a gas station? You might want to rethink that after meeting Aaron Jacobs. He's not just there to ring up your chips. He's dishing out reality checks to clueless crooks. When two guys thought flashing a knife would do the trick, they clearly didn't know they were messing with a former Marine and black belt. In less time than it takes to pick a candy bar, Aaron had the thief disarmed, twisted up in an arm bar, and face-planted into a rack of snacks. Size matters. Nothing like trying to rob a store only to discover the clerk is packing more than just snacks. This hoodie-wearing mastermind thought he could pull off a heist with his little knife, but the clerk had other plans. Out comes an even bigger blade, turning the scene from stick-up to who's compensating more. Realizing his pocket knife looked like a toothpick in comparison, the would-be thief panicked and made a run for it. Candy heist fail. This guy walks in like he's about to plan the ultimate heist, but ends up pocketing candy. He's doing his best "I'm totally shopping" act, wandering around cluelessly, even treating himself to a few sips at the soda fountain like it's happy hour. He probably thought he was a criminal mastermind, but surprise. As he heads for the door, the cashier calls him out, and he's forced to cough up the stolen sweets. All that effort for a candy bar? Not exactly Ocean's 11 material. Machete mayhem. These robbers thought they had it all figured out, smashing their way into the store. But surprise, the employees whipped out machetes like they were prepping for an action movie. The robbers, who clearly didn't expect that kind of welcome, turned and bolted faster than they'd arrived. Grocery heist gone wrong. This guy thinks he's about to pull off the grocery heist of the century, just strolling out with his loot like he's won a shopping spree. But the cashier isn't having it. She sprints after him, tackles him like a linebacker, and makes him drop everything. he ends up empty-handed. Beer lockdown, fail. Why call the cops when the gas station clerk's already handling business? This guy thought he could snag some beer and stroll out, but the clerk locks him in like he's in a zoo exhibit. He tries everything, banging on the door, using bottles like tools, but it's a no-go. He's stuck there, looking ridiculous, until the police show up to escort him straight to jail. Robbery fail. A wannabe thief tried his luck at a family-owned store, demanding cash. He had a gun, his face covered, and a getaway car parked right outside, ready for his big escape. But he managed to score a pack of Marlboro Red shorts instead of cash. Not even the full-size ones. How tragic. Golf club justice. A guy walks in, ready to steal the cash register, but gets a surprise when the clerk grabs a golf club and starts swinging like a pro. Panicked, the thief smashes the door with the register but drops the cash after a few good hits. He runs to his getaway car empty-handed. Fake heist. So, this genius cashier thought staging a fake robbery with the janitor would be their ticket to easy cash. Because obviously, pretending to get robbed at work is a foolproof plan, right? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. When the cops showed up and started connecting the dots, they realized the robber was actually another employee. After some light questioning and probably a lot of sweating, the duo confessed. Liquor store showdown. Nothing says Merry Christmas like trying to swipe some top-shelf booze and getting a beatdown instead. This guy thought he'd play Santa, helping himself to bottles of Don Julio and vodka at Gulf Liquors. Spoiler, it didn't end well. The owner, channeling his inner bouncer, saw it all on camera, grabbed what looked like an electric cable, and delivered a holiday surprise straight to the thief's arm. Pringle's panic attack. Two girls stroll into a gas station, thinking they've got their sneaky shoplifting game down. They start slipping snacks into their bags, like they're on some grocery spree, casually pocketing Pringles and more. They even have the nerve to chat by the counter, plotting their next move, while another customer watches the drama unfold. When they finally saunter up to the cashier, trying to act normal, he shuts it down fast. He's seen everything on camera and isn't having any of it. Caught red-handed, they start unloading their bags. Detergent dash disaster. These two walk into King's Supers and act like they own the place, piling up 20 laundry detergent containers in their cart. Worth about $600 by the way. They don't even try to be sneaky, just head straight for the exit. To top it off, they pull their car up to the door for a quick getaway. Security and some customers try to stop them, but they still manage to load up and speed off. Grandpa's got moves. A shop clerk and an elderly store owner are calmly minding their business when two shady guys walk in. One of them goes for the cash, and the owner appears to surrender, raising his hands. But then, out of nowhere, he throws something at the thief, catching him off guard. This old man, who clearly still has some fight left in him, manages to fend off both robbers single-handedly. Ended before it began. This guy storms in, demanding cash like he's shopping with a list. As he heads for the register, the clerk grabs a chair and smashes it over his head. The thief, clearly not expecting a surprise workout, stumbles back, grabs his hat, because of priorities, and runs off. Beer heist fail. You have to see what happened at this supermarket. Some genius grabs a beer, thinking he's getting a free pass to happy hour. But the clerk? She's got other plans. Out comes the pepper spray, and bam, right in his face. Now he and his buddy are stumbling around like life just rejected them. You'd think they'd call it quits, but no. She's chasing them down, dragging him back inside like she's rounding up toddlers. Then, with one press of a button, she locks him in, like a boss. Who knew wrangling thieves was just another Tuesday for her? The jewelry store. This guy waltzes into a jewelry store, puts on a necklace, and thinks he's going to walk out casually like he's on a catwalk. But the cashier's been around the block and locked the door ahead of time. Realizing he's stuck, our wannabe Houdini hands the chain back. Robbery mid-meal. Two suspicious guys stroll into a shop, and the clerk instantly senses trouble and tucks his phone away. Meanwhile, his co-worker, in the middle of enjoying his meal, clings to his own phone like it's dessert. Suddenly, one of the robbers goes for the phones, thinking it's an easy grab. But plot twist, the food guy puts down his plate and grabs the thief, catching everyone off guard. The robbers, clearly not expecting any fight, are thrown off their game. DIY crime control. When calling the cops doesn't work, just handle it yourself, right? That's the motto at this Oakland market. After being robbed for the third time, the owner and his crew decide they've had enough of busy signals and no-shows from the police. So, when the same genius thief shows up again, they take matters into their own hands, literally. Jewelry store snafu. A group of robbers thought they were genius criminals when they crashed a car into a jewelry store to break down the wall. They made it inside, ready to grab the loot, but chaos quickly erupted. Armed with a sword, the store owner charged at them like he was in a medieval battle. The thieves, completely terrified, scrambled back to their getaway car, but not before the owner took a few swings, leaving them with some serious regret. Hammer time horror. A couple of thieves in hoodies thought they'd come into a watch store and grab some goodies. They clearly underestimated the employees. As soon as they walked in, the workers charged like it was a rugby match. Kicking and slapping, one clerk even swung a chair at them. The robbers made a hasty exit, running for their lives and leaving behind their dignity. Let's just say they won't be trying that again anytime soon. Grandpa, the hero. Who needs action movies when you've got 85-year-old Dennis in a betting parlor? So, 3 robbers with hammers and a shotgun barge in, thinking they're about to hit the jackpot. But they didn't count on Dennis, who's been training for this his whole life, probably by swatting flies. Instead of running, he dodges a hammer like it's nothing and starts kicking one of the robbers out the door. Phone fumble. A thief pretends to be interested in buying phones, acting all casual until he snatches 2 and dashes for the door. But plot twist, the door's locked. Beer drama. A guy casually strolls into a store, thinking he's got his shoplifting game down, and grabs some beer like it's on sale. Clearly feeling adventurous, the store manager decides to take things up a notch by jumping into the getaway car. On the other hand, the clerk tries to play a traffic cop, blocking the driver. Naturally, chaos ensues. The driver panics and speeds off, turning a casual theft into a high-speed kidnapping drama. Firefighters' heroics. Meet Daniel Gasky, an off-duty firefighter who turned an ordinary trip to a convenience store into an action-packed scene. While he's just picking up snacks, a 19-year-old bursts in with a hunting knife, demanding money. Daniel quickly assesses the situation, tackles the guy in seconds, and holds him down until the police arrive. Perfume panic. This guy is trying to steal some perfume, but he doesn't know the owner means business. She tackles him, snatches the perfume back, and kicks him out like he's yesterday's trash. Her scream sends him running for the door when he tries to grab more. Who knew perfume shopping could get so intense? Banana heist. This guy strolls into a gas station looking for some bananas. But when he realizes he forgot his wallet, he decides to steal instead. Armed with a knife, he returns and demands cash from the clerk. Bad move. The clerk pulls out a much bigger knife, sending the robber running for the door. After locking him out, the robber's accomplice opens the door, but while they try to make their getaway, the clerk is outside, smashing up their car with a machete. By the time the robber sees his wrecked ride, he's probably regretting those stolen bananas big time. Epic fail. This has to be one of the most embarrassing moments for a robber. Dressed in all black and armed, he waltzes into a store, thinking he's about to score some cash. But the cashier, he takes one look at the masked guy and thinks, "Nah, not today," continuing to serve a customer his sandwich instead. The robber stands there awkwardly, clearly not the star of the show. Even the customer ignores him, and after a few moments of silence, he dashes out like he just realized he left the stove on. Thieves versus Gate. In a classic case of bad timing, two thugs storm into a jewelry store and smash the glass, ready to grab the loot. But wait, the owner, not one to mess around, quickly lowers the security gate, leaving the robbers in a panic. They scramble to stop it, but their efforts are about as effective as trying to catch smoke with bare hands. With only a few trinkets in their grasp, they make a mad dash for the exit. Wrong guy picked. Some would-be robbers thought they'd hit the jackpot when they spotted a gas station employee returning from a bank run. They went for him, but surprise, one of the clerks, who just happens to be an MMA fighter, turned the tables. The robbers fled, but one guy got knocked out cold and arrested. Talk about instant karma. And there you have it. Another round of thieves who thought they had it all figured out, only to end up facing some seriously tough store clerks. Those clerks aren't just there to ring up your snacks, they're ready to fight back. If you enjoyed watching these epic fails, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more hilarious moments. Stay safe out there and keep your hands to yourself.